Kirk Duckwell here with Mastermind the Market, your real estate stats update for the Twin Cities area. Well, is the winter market already over? What do I mean by that? Well, we'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, make sure you click on that subscribe button, like and share this video as well. If you like these videos, check out our Twin Cities Real Estate Show. It airs Saturday mornings at 6:30 on the CW23, 6 o'clock on KSTC 45, as well as you can catch it AM 950 at noon on your radio dial on Sundays, or if you just type in TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com, you can find all of our past shows there as well. All right, let's dive into the data. Showings per week, per listing. Median sale price range, 250 to 500K. Jumped up, was at a 3.94 up to a 4.17. A lot of this to do with inventory. We'll get into that in a second. This pace that we're at is putting us at a similar pace as what we were experiencing back in August. So our market is definitely warming up for sellers out there. Total number of showings, not much movement over last week. That's why I say I think it's a lot of inventory going on here. 3467 jumped up slightly to 3497. All right, let's take a look at that listing data. New listings in the marketplace dropping off. Last week we were pacing ahead of last year, now pacing a little bit down, 4.2%. Total new listings in the marketplace, 1217. As we look at pending sales, that did drop off as well from 1354 to 1178. All of this is bringing our inventory overall down, and this is a pretty big drop. Just a little, actually over 400 listings, 8,091 is where we were at for 13 County Metro, down to 7,640. So yeah, the inventory is coming down, but pacing with the same number of showings out there. That's putting some pressure on that market meter. Before we get to that, though, interest rates from our resident mortgage geek, Chad Preby, Bell Bank, dropped off as of ending Thursday last week, but then started to see some movement upwards coming into Friday. And if we look at today, there was definitely a jump in activity on the bond market, which will probably play into interest rates moving back up a little bit. So looking at all that's happening with the market meter, I'm going to take a step back to 2020. Now look at when we bottomed out in our market. At that point in time, we dropped off to a 5.92, so into that stable market range, basically the beginning of November last year. If we look at where we bottomed out, at least at this point this year, that was back in September 19th at a 6. So we can see how that plays out on the graph here, dropping out, getting to the low point in that activity level in the market meter. There it is in November, and we can see where we are now. We're moving back up slowly, but it is moving up. So where does that put us on the scale? Well, sitting there in that kind of mild seller's market range, creeping up slowly. We almost were in that balanced market, but now it's moving back up. So where is this going to go for buyers and sellers out there? Well, I expect we will have those slow holiday weeks for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's time frame, but those off weeks in between, it may still be moving pretty quick in this seller's market range. So we may not actually see much effect overall to that market meter. So we may have already bottomed out for the year looking back at the data. So unless there is a big change in inventory or buyer's activity, we may be on our way back up. So for buyers out there, you know, it's still not crazy, not like we were going back, quite a few months. You can see that market meter peaked out at a 10 and just rode that for many, many weeks running. And so capture it while the market's still down here. If you're a buyer out there, this is going to be where it's not so crazy, not as many properties in the multiple offers, because if you wait until that, late January, February timeline, we may very well be back up to that 10, that extreme seller's market range out there. So for buyers, now is still a better time, even though we're slowly moving up, than if you hold out longer. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out. Take care, be safe, and have a great week.